Oh, there we go. Sorry, doesn't help I have a microphone. I'm gonna
Oh,
plug the microphone in,
hold
hey?
on, I'm gonna.
Welcome back.
Oh, hello. I can hear you now.
There we go, there we go. How you doing, Donna?
So are you gonna do the whole discussion of how genetics work, and then we'll discuss, or do you want to do it now?
I mean, I can do the genetics for you if you'd like to. I have prepared, like, things for the genetic discussion, if that's what you would like to start with.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say on the genetic discussion because I'm not. I did do some genetics in biology, but I haven't. I don't think I know enough about the topic to actually properly debate on it. I think the reason they got used for that was because it was the same bloodline name. So the way they probably see it is that even if I'm not defending them here, I'm gonna say that this is probably on them. Agree this shouldn't have been done, but the way they probably see it is that even if two times on the complete opposite sides of the family tree, separated by generations, they probably just say, "Oh, it's the same bloodline name. They're related as incest." But if you didn't know about it, then I don't know how they got you on that because I will admit that I was on a Blooming Buds Titan. This actually was a Blooming Buds Titan nest. I gave my bloodline, and we didn't realize until after that we were related because they were like a different bloodline name. But then that Titan's mother ended up revealing that the Titan before that is Blooming Buds. We were technically related, but we didn't get done on that. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I think I think I don't know how they got you on that. I think it was just another thing to put on you
Well, I
so they
mean,
could secure about it.
whilst we're on the topic, I might as well discuss it, right? And I'll try and keep it as simple as possible. Um, like, just a quick discussion for 5 seconds about it. I'll go more into details a little bit later. But basically, how it works, right, is incest is actually a human made term. It is not a term used for animals or breeding population of animals, and it refers to breeding of closely related individuals within a family group. And when they mean closely related, they mean direct line breeding. So it'll be mother and father, father to daughter, mother to son, brother and sister, your second cousin, so on and so forth. But once it gets about between 5 and 6 generations away, the coefficient of how the blood pool actually divides itself and how genetics works begins to become diluted in a sense. So you slowly become unrelated the more you breed away from your family, even if you are still related to said family. Because the truth is, there can never be more ancestors alive at a time than what there was ancestors in the past. It's not how populations work. But yeah, I think I will go more into the incest thing a little bit later, and a bit about the breeding and genetics and stuff a little bit later, because I've got like a whole slideshow of stuff that I want to show and discuss. So I think, yeah, let's get on to your point of discussion, which I believe was the metagaming.
Yes, that is where I mainly do oppose. My first point is that I do think that because the events may because I'm actually just gonna check them real quick here, so I'm not just saying random stuff off memory. Let's go to the most recent Iron Board event. Let's see here. So here we are. So it says here's the clues to the territories. There's dead fish to be found and collected, little nutrients and a lot of mud to roll in. I think the use of mud really does give it away, and but I think that was a bit more vague. I feel like if the mud bit wasn't included, then it would have been fine in my opinion. And then I'm gonna go to the first round board event because that's where I have more of a problem with the what do you call it? What's this iron here? More problems with the hold on. I'm not thinking. Wait, hold on. What was I gonna say?
Do you want me to send you a link to it?
Oh, yeah, it was. I
Oh,
have
yeah.
more of a problem with how it was stated. I remember correctly.
Cool, cool.
So go here to first one. So where's the hint? Uh, oh right, yeah. Here's the heading. A place where a huge tree overlooks a small pond. Huge is just a synonym for big, so I feel like I have a big problem with that because, well, a huge tree overlooks, obviously, that's basically just saying the POI name. Big tree overlooking, huge tree overlook are practically one and the same, and the small pond is, I mean, I guess you could argue twisted, but I feel like the wording of it mainly just says that, yeah, it's big tree.
Yeah, and I agree totally with you. Like I've said in the past, my hints perhaps were just far too, how do you say, obvious. But also, like, my main issue with the whole metagaming thing is just the fact that we hosted one 4 months ago and nothing was brought up about it at the time. And I really would have appreciated if it was brought up, whether it was a ticket or even my own community bringing it up or something. Because in the end, by allowing the first one, the server basically condoned the fact that it was done. And that's why I say, if they had, I don't know, let's say they brought me a ticket and said, hey, listen, this is definitely metagaming. It's not accepted. Here's your strikes for metagaming. Don't do it again. I would have been like, okay, no problem. I apologize. We won't host such events in the future. But the issue for me is the fact that 4 months had passed. We hosted a second one so that someone else could be the Iron Boar. And then it was suddenly an issue. But what made it even a bigger issue is the fact that the punishments are not equal across the board. And people have been punished that weren't even physically in the server. That is like my main issue, is the fact that, cool, if we're not allowed to do this, all fine and dandy, let us know. But either punish us all fairly or don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have one rule system for one set of people and another rule system for a separate set of people.
Yeah, this is the point where I say I'm more neutrally, because I do agree that the first part should have been brought up. I feel like if something was to be, even if it was a ban, it should have been brought up back then. But what I think's happened is that they just didn't even know that happened because, well, I'm not gonna say that was a common territory, but they probably didn't have eyes on the server then. What's what I would think has happened, because obviously Shay, the admin, was in there for I think 12 minutes or 14, between somewhere there,
Yeah.
and they were, what do you call it? So what I think's happened is probably someone in the server tipped off on the second event, and they were like, "Oh, they just think metagame is cool," and then they got you done in for that
So my
because the way
rebuttal...
they.
Sorry, you first, you
You go
first.
ahead.
Okay, my rebuttal to the whole they didn't know about the original Iron Boar is that they had to have known about it. One, I posted it publicly on the actual Dynasty Discord. I made it very public within our channel and everything. And during that time, before our second Iron Boar, I actually asked them to pin some things inside my bloodline post, right? If they had gone to pin something, they had to have opened the post at some point, right? Like, you can't open it without going to the message. They would have seen this. So it's a little bit like, okay, maybe they saw it and they thought nothing of it. Fair enough. Okay, sure. But it's also not, how do I say, like, it's their duty to have staff members who look at dedicated groups, who look at nesting posts, who look at whatever. Surely someone should have caught this because it was super publicly advertised everywhere. And our second one as well. You know what I'm saying?
I will say there then, that's probably, I mean, we all, I think we could all agree at this point that the Dynasty staff team has failed countless times on stuff. They are by far not a great staff team. They've done things in the past that I'm not even going to get in here. That's all over debate that needs to be done at some point. But yeah, I would say this is where I'm more neutral, because it should have been brought up back then, or it shouldn't have been. They shouldn't have. When did you bring them in? Because if that was before the second arm board, I think you did say, then they probably should have went, "Oh, hey, this first event doesn't align with our rules. We just want you to let it know that we're not going to condone you if you do this again, and maybe give you a couple of strikes or something. But
Yeah.
they should have caught that, and that is the fault of the Dynasty team. The Dynasty team isn't the best, I will say.
And like I've been saying since the start, I don't mind being the one who gets banned for this because I'm the one who set up the event. I'm the one who organised it. I'm the one who got the sponsors for it. You know what I'm saying? But to unfairly ban the members of my community who are completely innocent, I understand it's through ignorance why they're innocent, but they're innocent. Give them maybe like a warning or maybe like a lesser strike, should I say, to be like, hey, don't do this, don't participate in this kind of action, and ban the person responsible. But instead, I'm sitting with like 11 odd people, some of, like I said, who weren't even attending the event, that have been banned unjustly. I don't even know what to do. Like, I'm trying to campaign for justice here for the people of my community.
I think that, them joining the event is probably compliance in metagaming, that because they've used Discord information to flipping go out and start a fight, which, is staging fights, which isn't allowed in the server because that would be considered metagaming.
So what about
But for the
dedicated
people who
herds?
were, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, like, I understand that this is definitely metagaming. We've established that. But the other part of the topic is, what about dedicated herds? They're allowed to message each other to be like, hey, let's meet up here. They can even message other species that are not even part of the herd to meet up here. It's the same with, like, asking for mates in a mate channel. You ask someone, do you want to be my mate? And they're like, yeah, sure. And then they DM you exact location where they are. People can be ugly and use that to come and kill you if they wanted to. So again, my argument is, if that's not allowed, it should be not allowed across the board, or it should be stipulated that looking for a mate is not considered metagaming, setting up herds for migrations and herd activities, or setting up Utah packs who get together and also have like territory disputes on their territory lines, that's not allowed either. And yet it is being done. But when a larger group, of a more well-known group, should I say, is doing something similar, we're not cautioned or warned, we're just straight up punished.
I think, my rebuttal to that is that in the actual Dynasty Discord server, they have channels for that, like mate search and looking for group. So clearly that is an intended feature of realism, and no, it may not be the most realistic. Dynasty's a light realism at best, so they intended for mate search and looking for group and all that to be a part of it. And in the metagaming rule, I think the way you've interpreted it and put in the video is that you're putting every individual bit of that sentence, every between comma, as like its own like rule break. So using Discord information, I think the way you said in your original video, I think it was the original video, was that was its own rule break. But I think the rule is supposed to say that those are all the things, and then if you use them to locate and hunt slash answer start combat, then that's a rule break, not just using Discord information in general. Because, well, if you're using Discord information, then wouldn't let anything in that server be a rule break? Because using Discord information could apply to reading a profile. So if I'm using Discord information to know how my animal should act and shouldn't, according to your logic, that should be a rule break. If you get what I'm saying.
No, I hear you, and I think that makes a lot of sense. It definitely does. I think if you look at it that way, definitely. But like I said, I'm not claiming innocence for the metagaming thing at all on my half. I'm completely owning up to it. I'll just like the people who like weren't even there not to have to suffer consequences, and the people who were there out of good faith, maybe to suffer a consequence, but not necessarily like a ban consequence, you know.
I will say that the people who shouldn't have, the people who didn't attend shouldn't have gone. I think that's just Dynasty overlooking the amount of people that attended, and what might have happened there is that some other people like a random Titan might have came into the territory, and then Dynasty might have went, oh, that person was a part of the event. They're metagaming. Give them a ban.
So I can
So after
confirm.
that,
I don't unfortunately have
what is it?
recorded footage of it anymore because apparently replays you can't open once there's been an update. But I can confirm the only people who attended were the only people in the area at the time. There wasn't any other people, and as soon as we finished the event, we all just went our separate ways, you know. So I
I
don't
mean, how would
think,
you be? Sorry, you can go ahead.
yeah, I don't think that was like the issue. I think the issue was when the moderator joined our server and they went into our like announcement channels for events and looked at the event, they saw the name of the people who tried to sign up for the event, and they just banned all those people, regardless whether they attended or not. I think that was the error made instead of actually checking server logs of who was logged in at the time of the event.
Well, I would have two rebuttals to that. First of all, how would you know that there was nobody else in the area if you were, because unless you stayed on the very edge, like Twisted Fourth Coastland Swamp, which I doubt you did,
It's
then
exactly
how are
what I
you
did.
able to know that there were no Titans in the area?
It's exactly what I did. I left the Mudflats territory and I went into the Twisted territory and I sat on the beach, like just in render distance of the fight.
So then how would you know that someone didn't come from Coastland and then get into a fight?
Well, I did obviously have communication with the people. We were sitting in a Discord VC, and after this first two fights, that was it. That was the end of our event. So,
Alright, then that's fair. Hold
yeah.
on. Oh, right. So I feel like the people who got signed up and didn't attend but were still, banned. I mean, that's still technically compliance in metagaming, and but Dynasty should have looked into the logs and should have looked at who was actually there. But they'd probably see that as, oh, this person was going to metagame, and they would have if they could have. So get rid of them. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, I hear you. I hear you. But even then, like, I don't feel they should have faced a ban. They definitely should have faced the strikes, like the consequences of metagaming. Because, I mean, I remember an incident from 2025 where unfortunately I was a victim of metagaming. And I actually didn't even know. It was my person in my group that reported the person. And it turns out that person didn't even get banned. They just got the strikes, even although a creature died during that incident. And that's what I'm saying about, like, if we're going to have rules, that's fantastic, but the rules should be even and fair for everyone. So the people who didn't attend the event, yes, they should get perhaps the strikes, but they shouldn't be banned. Unless, of course, they have previous strikes that, like, add up to the 10 strike ban. Then okay, sure, you know.
But I will say, I think the difference in that situation is that that's one person, or, well, I'm assuming it's one person from your wording. I might be wrong on that. I'm not going to assume anything, but that's one person just using outside information that the group didn't give them, or I'm assuming the group didn't give them, to target them. I mean, target you. And that, but that with this event, that's multiple people all going into one area to fight, if you know what I mean. So it's not like, oh, I'm just gonna use it for me. I feel like that's a difference in severity, because that's multiple people that have all agreed, okay, we're gonna go into this area, we're gonna fight. If you get what I mean.
Oh yeah, yeah, I see how that could be as well. Definitely, I do agree. I definitely agree with that as well. But yeah, like I
But
say,
do you want you
I'm
go ahead.
willing to take the strikes and the ban for the metagaming. But I do feel that my members do need some form of an appeal or a way to appeal, even just like prove that they weren't there. And I don't think that they should be banned for someone else's actions, even if they were informed, because not everyone knows the rules off by heart. And man, Dynasty's rule system is excessively long. I don't know if you've ever read all of it, but it is like a 5-pager. And honestly,
I only fully read it whenever I first joined, and I kind of learned that half the rules aren't even gonna happen most of the time. So I mean, I don't like know those rules, but I know the majority of the rules. But I don't have every single rule locked in my mind every time I go into a session. I kind of just go, oh wait, that's going to be a rule break. I'm not going to do that. So, but yeah, Dynasty's rules are very long, and I feel like making mistakes for someone who's been in the server for like less than a year or something would be common. But if there's people in there who, right, let's say someone in Dynasty, how old even is Dynasty? Like 2 years, I'm saying?
Yeah, they're going on about 2 years at the moment.
Yeah, if someone was in there for like 2 years from the very beginning and they're still making mistakes, then I feel like that should be judged more harshly.
Agreed. No, I definitely agree with that as well. Definitely. Well, I don't have much more to discuss on the metagaming. If there's something else you would like
Yeah, I
to
feel
bring
like
up.
we covered that pretty quickly.
Okay, cool. I know King
It was a
Miller.
really good debate, and we were very civil. Thank you very much for that.
Oh no, it's a pleasure. Like I said, I'm always willing to discuss. I'm always willing to come to conclusions and try and sort things out. I think a lot of people maybe they feel like when you're trying to discuss something, you're arguing. But I'm not here to argue. I'm just here to be like, here's the facts. Here's what happened. I take ownership for my mistake. I would at least like to discuss it, not just be banned and I have to sit here and accept it. You know what I'm saying?
I just love a good debate. I've met a good friend recently on another server. We had opposing opinions, and we ended up doing a debate for it for like something like 20 minutes, like nearly 30, I'd say. And I play with them now because we found that we actually getting along well. So I mean, a good debate is more than just an argument. I definitely agreed on that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm always willing to discuss, I'm willing to debate, I'm willing to talk about everything. Just I would like to be given the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, definitely agreed. We've come to an agreement on what our beliefs are, and maybe some of our beliefs have changed now, and we understand the other side more because we've actually gotten to talk through it.
Yeah, exactly. And I enjoy it. And I also want to thank you for like being able to sit and have a conversation and not just be a lot of people unfortunately are just angry.
Yeah, those people in the comments are wild. I mean, they're actually like attacking your humanity in general. Jesus Christ, that was something. I was like, had the retake there.
It's okay.
And I feel like they didn't even watch the video. They probably just started watching it. Then they saw the moment they heard incest and the fact that you're opposed to it, or probably went into the comments, didn't watch the rest of it.
It could be. It could be. People do tend to get very opinionated and excited about things before they actually, get the whole picture.
Yeah. Is it okay if I stick around for the slideshow? I do want to learn more on the topic because
Oh yeah.
it is something I do want to learn. It's always great to expand my mind.
Yeah, you're always welcome to.
Okay.
Let me see